how's it going? Welcome back to Damian. If you guys see me like sucking on something, it's just some vitamin D gummies, so don't mind that. This is a good video. I'm excited for it. I am a little bit sleepy, but I think I can still give you guys a good reaction right now. So basically, it is 3:32 in the morning right now that I'm filming this. It's currently March 4th. This is going to be scheduled for several days in advance, but basically this is a video, 3 true night shift horror stories animated, and at the time I'm filming this, I have a night shift in about 15 hours. Yeah. So 15 hours from the time I'm filming this video, I have a night shift, and here I am watching a night shift horror stories video. So perfect. Good. A good choice of video, Damian. Good job. And because it's currently nighttime right now, it's 3:33. I'm not doing the night shift right now, but it's currently nighttime. Then I have the night shift coming up, so let's see how this goes, guys. We're going to start this. And yeah, 3 true night shift horror stories animated by MJV Animations. I did a Mr. Nightmare video last time, so this one will be a horror animated video. So, without further ado, let's go.
This happened during a road trip I was taking on the way back from seeing my family for the holidays. I'm not usually one to drive more than a couple hours because I much prefer flying, but this year the tickets to where I was going were way more expensive for some reason. It would have cost me over $1,000 for a round-trip flight that only went a few states over. I had planned everything out so that I'd get home a few days before I had to go to work, but a snowstorm blew in on the day I was going to leave, so I had to stay an extra 2 days before finally starting the drive. The roads were empty since it was past the holiday rush, and most of the drive is pretty out of the way from the big cities. The hardest part of it was always staying awake and fighting the boredom. The first 8 or so hours went by without any trouble though.
The first 8 hours?
Sure, I was tired, but the snow on the road kept me awake and attentive. It was about 10 p.m., and I had a hotel booked in a small town just 2 hours further ahead. But as I drove, a small light came up in my mirror. It was the headlights of someone behind me, which was actually the first person I'd seen on the road with me in over an hour. Their lights were getting bigger quickly though, showing that they were coming up really fast. And soon, I could see that it was actually a large van of some kind. It was only a 1-lane road, so I couldn't get out of their way, but I figured they would still swerve around me, given they were going so fast. Once they reached the back of my car though, they matched my speed and stayed behind me. After a few seconds, I realized they weren't trying to get around me, and we drove like that for almost 10 minutes. It was kind of unnerving, being that it was only us on the road, and yet this huge van was trailing right behind me. It wasn't a normal following distance either. They were so close that I couldn't even see their front bumper or license plate in my mirror. Maybe I was quick to feel uneasy about it, but an exit came up for a gas station, and I chose to turn off, hoping they would stay on the road and that I could put some distance between us. But as I veered off and down the exit ramp, they stayed right behind me. I pulled into the gas station and parked at one of the pumps as the van pulled into the pump behind me. At this point, I just didn't know what was happening. Part of me thought that this was something bad, but another part of me thought I was just overreacting. I knew that this was the only gas station in the past 30-ish minutes, so it wasn't all that unlikely that they would also need gas. Before getting out to fill up my tank, I shut my car off and looked around. The store part of the gas station had its lights
closed
off and a closed sign hanging from the door. I looked to the sides of it, seeing nothing but empty darkness. No houses, no buildings, just a field covered in snow with a single road going through it.
That is so creepy.
I looked in my mirror. A man was now standing outside of the van and putting gas in, so I got out and began doing the same. As the numbers slowly ticked on the gas meter, the man quickly put his pump back and sealed his gas cap. I looked over, seeing him walking to the back of his van. Then I heard the loud ratcheting sound of the back door being lifted open. There was something in that moment, maybe a gut feeling, or just an instinct of some kind, that told me to get out of there. I pulled the pump out of my car, and not even a second later, 3 men were sprinting at me from around the back of the van. I dropped the pump on the ground and quickly got in my car.
Lock your doors.
Just as one of them grabbed the handle
Fuck, bro.
and tried to rip it open. I was shaking and moving as quick as I could to get the car on.
Fuck, bro.
All 3 of them went around trying each door, but then immediately sprinted back to their van before I'd even had the chance to pull away. When I did, though, I saw them drive away soon after, going in the opposite direction, down the way we had come from. I let the police know what happened, but never even got a call back with any updates. I think it's obvious they were trying to abduct people under the cover of night on the vast, unpopulated highway. What's terrifying is how confident and, for lack of a better word, professional the whole operation was. It seemed that as soon as they realized I was securely in my car and it wasn't going to be effortless, they fled the scene without even needing to communicate with each other. It was like they had done it many times before. What would have happened if they'd gotten me?
Like that gave me anxiety just seeing the door open and some guy chat. I was like, bro, hurry up, bro. Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. Like, frick, now I'm awake. Fuck, now I'm fucking terrified. Shit. Gee.
I don't know, but I urge everyone to learn from my mistakes, because you may not be as lucky as I was.
That was fucking horrifying, bro. That was disgusting.
In 2019, I did deliveries for a pizza place near my school.
It's always fucking pizza places,
bro. I worked most days after class, so I could afford to pay for my...
There's nothing on
my car and rent. It wasn't a great job in any aspect, but it was good enough to get me through college without being completely broke.
Yeah, exactly.
This night was no different than most in the beginning. I clocked in at 6 and delivered for 3 hours straight, then took a lunch break and started again at 9:30. I picked up the next order and started heading to the place.
When you done your shift?
The address didn't look like a house, but the route it took me on to get there was not what I was expecting. It took me further out from town, away from most houses and stores, and into a business center. It was an area full of small office buildings and nothing else. I drove down the road and couldn't really tell what any of the addresses were, so I just followed the directions on the GPS and hoped it would take me into the right parking lot.
I could not be a delivery driver for shit because I would not even know exactly where to go. Like, I'll be the one to get lost. I'd be like, am I at the right spot? Like, especially when people drive to my college, like, there's a specific, they have to enter the campus grounds, they have to drive through a little bit, and they have to park in a certain area. That's, like, the best place for me to get my food. And typically, they normally get there, but it's, they sometimes get taken the wrong way. Which, understandably so, sometimes they just get taken the wrong way. So that's not really their fault, but it's like, fuck, bro, like, it's... Or if you just don't know the area much, and then obviously, it's scary shit, because then it's like, well, not scary, but it's just like, if you don't know the area, and especially like this, it's like night shift, it's like in the middle of nowhere, like, you don't know if someone's gonna fucking abduct you, like... I could probably do pizza delivery during the daytime, but definitely not at nighttime, because I would just feel, like, way too sketched out at nighttime. So, yeah, that could not be me.
When I turned in, I drove through a pretty long parking area until I reached the front of the building and could read the address. It matched up with the one on the order, but something was off. The parking lot was completely empty, not even the streetlights were on, and the office building had no signs of anyone being inside. I double-checked the address, thinking there must have been a mistake, but it all checked out. I even tried searching it on Google for any places nearby with the same address.
Well, all you gotta do is call it, like, if you get there then you can't find them, then you just give them a call.
But no, this was it. I set my car in park and got out, glancing around before walking up to the door. It was a glass door with a dark tint covering it. I knocked, then took a step back and waited. It only took a moment before the door opened.
Oh,
It
fuck.
was a middle-aged man,
I did not expect that. Fuck, man. Oh my god.
wearing very casual clothes
I don't know why that
and
scared me so
holding
much.
a small grin on his face. He suddenly got overly excited and said he was happy the food had finally arrived and that everyone was hungry. I looked behind him, not seeing anyone else, and only a single light on in the middle of the hallway. But I ignored it and just told him his total. He must
I don't care. As long as you give me the money, I don't go fuck.
have realized what I was looking for, though, as he quickly explained that everyone else was in the rec room on the 3rd floor for a company party. I smiled to be polite, but the man was talking with an overwhelming amount of excitement.
Okay, bitch, I don't give a fuck about your story. Give me the fucking money. Thank you.
So much so that it almost felt like he had to be faking it. He pulled out his wallet and handed me cash for the pizzas, along with a $10 tip. But as I took the money, he asked me for a favor. He wanted help bringing the pizzas up to the 3rd floor.
No.
The man had put me in a strange position. Having taken the generous tip already, it felt like it would only be right to help him. On the other hand, though, carrying a few pizzas isn't exactly difficult, and it didn't seem necessary by any means.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He started walking without me having answered yet, urging me to follow him as he made his way to a door leading to some stairs.
No. Well, I guess stairs or elevator is not good, because either way it's like an enclosed area where probably no cameras, so you're kind of fucked.
I trailed behind, keeping my distance, but following him into the stairwell. As I entered, though, I felt a cold rush of air and noticed all the lights were off. Only the small light from the hallway lit the entrance to the stairs.
Boy, you got me fucked up. I'm not doing
The
that.
man started making his way up, but stopped once he realized I hadn't continued following him. He turned and made a humorous remark about the lights, but his grin was quick to leave once he saw that I wasn't going to follow him anymore. There was no hesitation
fuck.
as he came rushing down toward me with anger in his eyes. I tossed the pizzas on the ground, rushing out of the door and into the hallway, then running for the exit and bolting to my car. I saw the man come partly out of the front doors before going back in and slamming them shut. I immediately called the police after driving to a different parking lot. The man had run off by the time they got there, and since he paid in cash, there was no way to know who he really was. The office building was empty, though, and there was nobody else on the 3rd floor.
He broke in
So
somehow.
it's clear that it was just some sort of trap. What he had ready for me on the 3rd floor is unknown, and I hope that nobody ever has to know.
That's honestly, like, dude, that's like the #1 rule in food delivery or anything. Do not come into someone's house. I don't give a fuck. Bitch, I don't know you. I'm not delivering your shit. Like, unless it's like normally company workers like delivering stuff inside your house, like a furniture thing. Then you obviously kind of have to, but normally it's not one person and it's not at nighttime. It's typically like, you know, like someone like bringing in a washer that you just bought, things like that. That's fine. Like for fucking pizza, can you help me bring it upstairs? Bitch, I'm not giving no. Like you told me that the guy started walking in without even doing anything. What I would have done is I would have like taken the pizza, put it just inside the door, closed the door, and then just left. I get that he gave you a tip and like you did do the nice thing, but at the same time, like you could have died, bro. So I don't think $10 is worth your life. So be careful, fam.
I work for my dad at his small construction business. He runs a yard and warehouse full of materials, as well as manages the job sites the workers are at.
Okay.
Since I was only 17 at the time,
Okay.
my job was to basically be the errand boy. I'd drive materials back and forth and pick up anything that was needed. Depending on the job, though, Some materials would need to be there before workers arrived, because they would need them so they could get to work right away in the morning. So every once in a while, during busy weeks, I'd have to start work really early, like 2 or 3 a.m., to make sure I could drop everything off in time.
It's like a night shift.
Obviously, this was only during the summer, when I didn't have school, so I really had no excuse for not being able to work.
You could just say no, I don't want
liked
to.
doing the deliveries early, though, because it was calm and I didn't have to deal with anyone telling me what to do. On this day, I arrived at the warehouse at 3 a.m. and loaded up, then started making my way to the job site. It was a repair job on an old, maybe even abandoned, building at the edge of our town. When I got there, I saw a truck parked right outside. Its lights were off, and it didn't look like anyone was nearby. It was way too early for anyone to be working, so I wasn't expecting to see any cars here. I parked and got out, walking up to it and seeing that it wasn't a company vehicle either. The windows were tinted, and I couldn't see inside. I turned and looked at the building, trying to see if anyone was here.
I mean, to be honest, someone's probably smashing in there or
I
something.
called out, asking if anyone was inside, but got no response. Feeling a little weird about it, I pulled out my phone and called my dad. It rang for a minute, then went to voicemail. Figuring it was probably just a worker's personal truck that they'd left there, I went back to my truck and started unloading the materials. It took probably an hour. Then I got back in and started to drive off. As I left the area, though, I looked in my rearview mirror, and suddenly, the truck's lights turned on. I practically slammed on my brakes, stopping on the side of the road and watching as the truck started to back out. Someone was in there the whole time. Knowing that, I was sure that it couldn't have been a worker because they definitely would have responded to me. I sat and watched as they made their way out of the parking area and onto the road. I grabbed my phone and quickly dialed my dad's phone number again. While I waited for him to pick up, I looked over, seeing the truck had stopped right next to me. I stared at their window, knowing someone behind it was probably staring at me. I tossed my phone on the seat and started to drive forward, but the truck was quick to match my speed and prevent me from getting back onto the road. But there was nowhere else for me to go. To my left were trees, and to my right was this truck blocking my way. I started to panic, putting the car in reverse and trying to back up. The truck did the same until they tapped the side of my car, making me lose control and slide completely off the shoulder and hit the side of a tree. The truck quickly stopped right at the top of the road, as if they were going to get out. But then their brake lights suddenly turned off again as they put it back in drive and sped away. Just 20 seconds later, another car pulled up to the side of the road, and a man got out and ran up to me, asking if I was okay. I didn't know his name at the time, but it was one of the workers that was just arriving at the job site. He only saw the last bit of what happened, but said he recognized the other truck as Samuel's, who was another worker my dad had hired a few months ago. As it turned out, a bunch of tools and materials were missing from the job site, adding up to almost $10,000, and that's only from that one night. He could have been slowly stealing a few things at a time over the past few months. I think what happened that night, though, was that Samuel thought that by me seeing his truck, it would eventually all get traced back to him and he'd get caught. So he tried to stop me.
So he tried to
Trace
what?
back to him and he'd get
Bless me.
caught. So he tried to stop me. I don't know what he would have done to me, but considering I was the only witness, it's likely that he wouldn't have gotten caught as long as I was never seen again. Unfortunately, though, his name and everything else didn't add up to anything, and it was likely he was either an illegal immigrant or some kind of felon that went through the effort of getting fake or stolen IDs and work documents. I was never expecting something like that to ever happen, but at least it's really unlikely that I'll ever see that man again.
Fuck, bro, that is honestly terrifying. That is honestly scary as fuck. Again, on night shift, like, you encounter some fucked up things at nighttime, bro. I've had my fair share of stuff happening at night as well. Obviously, it's me at work, so it's nothing, like, totally terrifying or out of the usual, I guess you could say, but definitely some things are kind of like, damn, this happens, like, once every few months sort of thing. Which I had that in January, when I came back to work after I was off sick for COVID. January 5th, that was my night. That was about 2 months ago now. That was my night that I had to deal with something interesting that I didn't expect. December as well, like mid-December, I had to deal with something too, so it's kind of like within 2 weeks I had 2 instances, which is not usually what the case is, but that's what I had to deal with, so, and maybe there was more when I wasn't working, who knows, so. Who knows, right? But yeah, be careful please, because you just never know what's happening at nighttime. You don't know what's happening in the daytime either, to be honest, like, people are sus all the time. They don't take a break in the daytime. They're sus 24/7. Driving in the snow on the lonely road, what looks to be about almost dark time? No. When the city of food is happy to arrive, I got the feeling that he was referring to the pizza delivery driver, not the pizza. Honey, wake up. MJV uploaded. I love having new videos to view. I love his channel. His channel's honestly really good. They do great animations too. I drove 34 hours across Canada. It was a tough drive. I'm glad nothing crazy happened. God. Yeah, honestly, you really have to be careful, no cap. Like, you seriously do not know people's intentions. You do not know what people are looking to do, what they're trying to do, what they want to do, what their intentions are, like if they have ill will, if they have a good intentions. You may find out when it's too late. Dun, dun, dun. Sorry, that was kind of cringy, but you know what, it's 4 in the morning, give me a break, I'll go look. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a like, comment down below what your guys' thoughts were on this video. Be sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications as well. And please fucking stay safe. Please. Just stay safe, man. Ugh. Yeah, stay safe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Deuces. Peace.